Wow, I just love to hear such a difference in quality between the two of them. You know, Lewis's rich baritone, whereas James Bay's, very light lyric tenor, and you hear that difference in the timbre of their voices. Hearing them both together is incredible.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
Hey everyone, Adam Mishan here, singer, songwriter, and vocal coach, and today I'm going to be reacting to James Bay and Lewis Capaldi singing Someone You Loved. Let's check it out.
To see in shows and evening clothes with you.
Okay, so he's going really soft into his voice here. And because he's going so soft, if your voice is not 100% like ready for that, meaning sufficiently warmed up and good to go, if there's any swelling on the vocal cords, it won't quite work. It'll kind of get this stutter effect. And that's somewhat what you're hearing here. So if you listen, this is the sound of his vocal cords, just probably a little bit swollen from a long performance. Maybe the smoke in the room. Obviously, they've got smoke machines. Maybe that's causing a little bit of disturbance in his throat. He's obviously not 100% getting a clear, clean tone here.
From walking home and talking loads.
Walking on. He's having difficulty. Da, da, da. That kind of airy thing, skipping there, that's the vocal cords not quite vibrating the way that they are intended to.
To see in shows and evening clothes with you.
Yeah, and so he has to push a little bit more to make the pitches work. And I applaud him for not pushing the rest of it. Like, it's hard when you're doing a live performance and you know your voice is not working the way you know it should, to not push it a little bit harder, just to like, come on, just kick it into gear.
Just staying up and waking up with you.
Yeah, so his mix is a little bit pushed. I love James Bay's voice though. Like, his voice overall is just awesome. He has an incredible tone. It seems like today is not like that performance, and we're all human. Like, we all have these off days, was not 100% his best vocal day.
Just let it be. Why don't you?
Interesting. So he's using slightly different vowels than he does in the original. I'm quite familiar with the original Let It Go. He's ending up a little bit brighter. Let it go. Be you. He's being very like ew on, instead of you. Darker is what he does in the original. So it's interesting to see how he's doing it differently in this performance. I think it's him trying to navigate a voice that is not wanting to cooperate the way that he would like it to.
Everything that's wrong, leave it to the breeze.
Yeah, I wish he would round out those vowels a little bit more. I know he's trying to belt it, but the problem is, listen to leave it to. It's too much neck muscle there. Way too much neck muscle. The swallowing muscles are getting way too involved in that process. And if you would just round it out a little bit, leave it to the breeze, it would come out much easier.
But I'll be me. Yeah, I'll be me.
Nice run.
To chief and close and slamming doors at you.
Nice. So he's singing an octave below James. He's got a really nice warm tone to the bottom end of his voice. Wonder if he could pull off what James does in his higher range there, doing it in his falsetto slash mix in the higher range.
And why are we doing it anymore?
Love his rasp. I am in love with his rasp.
I used to recognize myself. It's funny a reflection shit. Why don't you be you? You know, be me.
His rasp has such a like musical quality to it, and it just makes his upper range monstrous. Like, it sounds so much thicker. Like, if you add rasp to any sort of tone, it immediately sounds thicker. Like, for an example, like if I were to go, pretty thin tone to it, right? Now, if I were to add a little bit of rasp to that, If you add a little bit of rasp to that, it immediately starts to thicken because you're essentially having multiple overtones and sounds happening in the voice all at once. And so it's interesting to hear how immediately his higher notes, without much extra effort, right? Like, even though it sounds like what I was doing there, it sounds thicker than the first, it's just really an addition of it's really just the addition of the false folds into the mix that gets that. You can feel it, like I'm sure all of you have probably experienced this when you suck in. So if you go, if you do that sort of sound, you hear that kind of disturbance in the sound is what you're hearing of the false folds. So we're essentially doing that, just breathing out. That's essentially just the false folds. It's not a massive amount of effort to be able to find that sort of sound. So it's definitely something that Lewis Capaldi does incredibly well.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me.
Nice transition. Really nice transition. Smooth.
This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. On your down, and then you pull her up. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love.
Wow, I just love to hear such a difference in quality between the two of them. You know, Lewis's rich baritone, whereas James Bay's, very light lyric tenor, and you hear that difference in the timbre of their voices. Hearing them both together is incredible, and then like back to back, and how each one of them sings it so differently, right? Sings that chorus very differently.
Trying to fit your hand inside of mine, but we know it just don't too heavy to hold. I think now's the time to let it slide. Oh, and now it's
I really love how they just went right back to Let It Go. It's so seamless. Nice.
it'll be me.
Powerful, man. What a duo. They are so good together. They should do more performances like this. Incredible. Very strong performance on both sides. I really love that. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please check out this one right here. You're gonna like it too.